Hello, I'm EG and this is Crocheting with EG. And in this video, I do have a couple things I crocheted, but for the most part, I don't have any yarn hauls. Shocking. No, it's ridiculous how many yarn hauls I do have. But I don't have any yarn in this video, but I'm going to be talking about Thanksgiving, and by the time this comes out, you're going to be thinking, God, it's like February, March, like I don't know when this video is going to come out. But I had my Thanksgiving with my family, and that's how far ahead I am in filming, or behind technically, I guess, or whichever way you see it. But I had my Thanksgiving, and I'll be talking about that. And then I did get a couple like thrifty things, a couple things from Hobby Lobby that are crochet, or I mean yarn related. And I did crochet a couple things. I'll show that. But for the most part, I don't have any yarn to show. But whatever. But I'm going to be talking about some other things. But I'll show the things I crocheted first. As I'm filming this, I'm working on the Christmas bag tutorial. Or the Christmas bag period, and then I'm going to be turning it into the tutorial. And but by the time this comes out, I've already done it, and so it turned out nice. I think. I hope. I mean, it's turning out nice, but I'm hoping it's going to turn out nice. But I'm sure it did. But because it's coming along really well. But I just haven't done it yet. Or finished it yet. But on the front of the bag is the Christmas tree, and I wanted to put a little star, like attach a little star to the top on either side. And so I found some tutorials for stars and like different tutorials, and I made a couple like samples of the stars. But these are just going to be way too big. But these turn out really nice, and so I'm thinking of like turning them into ornaments for my Christmas tree or something. But I made two of them because I thought these would be the perfect size, but these are way too big. If you compare it to the panel on the Christmas bag, but these are way too big, but they're really cool though. I used 3 strands. I used the I don't know the brand. I'd get it down off my shelf or whatever. This video is going to be long enough anyway, talking about random stuff. But the ivory, I think it has the gold strand. The ivory is from Walmart, one of their mainstays colorways, and I think that the silver is too. It's like a silver strand with a silver metallic. I mean, it's gray yarn with a silver strand, and then there's a white with a silver strand, and one of these may be Hobby Lobby, I can't remember. So I used 3 strands, which made it look really pretty and sparkly, and so there's like silver and gold metallic in this, and these are gorgeous stars. They're just way too big to for the proportions of that bag, or the Christmas tree on the bag. So but they'd make a, well, not this way, but I'll find some way to attach a little loop on here. I probably need to block these or steam these just a little bit, because the star ends kind of curl in. It looks like what Patrick from SpongeBob. No, but I need to like steam them just a little bit so that they don't, or so they won't curl, so they'll lay flat, and then I can put like a loop here or something and make them into ornaments for my Christmas tree. But I did make 2 of those. I'm glad I did. And then when I realized that they were too big, I wanted to see what it would look like with just 2 strands, and so I used the same tutorial. And if I can think about it, I'll put the tutorial I used in the description. I'm going to use a different tutorial for the smaller star, because I mean this turns out nice, but to make them like really small, like small enough for the bag, I needed to use a different tutorial. But I used a different tutorial for these bigger ones, and but this one I used 2 strands, just the white with the silver metallic, and then that ivory with the gold metallic. And it's smaller, but still at the same time it's too big for that bag. But I only made 1 of those, and it turned out really nice. And this will be another little ornament for my Christmas tree that's always hanging up, even when it's not Christmas. So those are things that I crocheted. So it's like the crochet portion of this video. And I will show this again, even though I showed it in my last video. In the video that I posted on Thanksgiving, the turkey leg, the ridiculous turkey leg that I crocheted. I kind of free-handed it or whatever, and then added the poster board to the back to make it kind of stiff. But the reason I'm going to show this again is because when my family came over, my brother and sister-in-law and my niece came over, I wanted to like show my niece this and make a joke and like see what she would think. Of course, she's at that age where she's like honest to a fault, so you never know what her reaction is going to be. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, and then sometimes it's like like an honest kid's reaction. So I didn't know what she was going to think of it, because this is utterly ridiculous. This is probably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever made. Outside of like my yarn delier or my teddy bear sweater, or I've made some ridiculous stuff. But I never thought I would crochet a freaking turkey leg. But but I wanted to see her reaction. And so when she was over here and I was in the middle of cooking the dinner or whatever, I said, "Oh, I saved your turkey leg," and she said, "Oh my God!" And she like grabbed it and she ran into the living room and show my brother and sister-in-law. I didn't see their, I didn't even want to see their faces because I mean they thought it was hilarious. I heard my brother laughing really hard, and they thought it was really cool. But like I didn't even want to see their faces because I was going to project onto them that they thought it was utterly ridiculous, as ridiculous as it is. But they thought it was really funny and cool and everything. And my niece loved it, and so I didn't expect her to love it as much as she did, but she thought it was freaking hilarious. But so I did show her that. But they came over and we just had a really good time it was on the weekend. We didn't have it on the actual Thanksgiving day. We had it on the weekend, and I made the Thanksgiving meal. And like I said in one of my other videos, I don't like making a turkey because it's a pain in the ass having to thaw the thing out and like keep changing the water. Because like it seems like maybe my refrigerator's up too high or something, or down too low technically. But like when you're supposed to put it in your refrigerator, it's supposed to thaw, but like it seems like every year it wouldn't thaw, and so I found that cold water method where you have to keep changing the water, but you can put it in cold water and thaw it. Because you're never supposed to just like sit on your counter and like let it thaw out like that. If you safely want to thaw it out without using the refrigerator, you can put it in cold water, and then once it thaws out, then you immediately have to cook it. And so I would plan it where, okay, this is how many for how many pounds. This is how long it has to stay out in the cold water, and I keep changing the water because I didn't want it to the water to come up to like room temperature. It needed to stay cold, and you know what I mean, with the like OCD and like worried about germs and making sure that food is the right temperature, and I'm always paranoid, you know, worried about like, what if the temperature is a little too high in the house, or what if I thawed it out and if I don't cook it right away, it's not going to be safe, and so it was just too much of a hassle. And for a turkey, I'm just not crazy about turkey. I think that chicken tastes a lot better, and so we have this really huge Dutch oven thing, and it's like this. I looked it up on eBay one day. They were selling for like, it's a vintage one. It was one that my grandma used to have, and it's I think it was like $300 or $400 that those things are selling for. I would never sell it. It's the best pan that we have. It's like this big, like really heavy metal Dutch oven with like the lid. And when you put the lid on it, it seals like anything you put in it. Like a roast is really good in that Dutch oven thing. It seals so tight that sometimes like when I have to pull it up to check, it kind of like, you have to pull it really hard because it like creates this seal, almost like a pressure cooker or whatever. I mean, it seals so nice, and like any kind of meat you put in it, it just falls apart. And so and because I love chicken, I thought, you know, I'll just to make it easier on myself, I'll make chicken for Thanksgiving, and it's always a hit. Everybody loves the chicken, and so I just take like I get some boneless, skinless chicken breasts and boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and then and just put it in there with like the gravy and stuff, and I mean it turns out really good. And then I make dressing or stuffing or whatever. And I never stuffed it in the turkey when I did make a turkey, but I always made stuffing, and I made the stuffing. And I like to make deviled eggs because my brother likes deviled eggs, but trying to peel those eggs, it's really frustrating. Like every year, like some of them the shell would stick to the egg. And then I saw a Coco Peru's video where she was talking about you know, how to peel an egg, and she said, you know, never put it in cold water. You won't be able to peel them properly. And so I thought, okay, I'll leave them like scalding hot and try to peel them that way, and they still stuck. So I have no idea. Is it the water? Is it the temperature? Like I don't know. Maybe it's just like the kind of eggs. I just get the cheap eggs. Maybe if I get like some more expensive eggs, but they stuck so bad this year that I just peeled it what I could, like all the shell off and everything, and I had to like peel down to like the second layer of the egg, so a lot of it was wasted. And so I thought, this is just like a clumped up mess. It's not even worth making into deviled eggs. So I just kind of mashed it all up and made deviled egg salad, and I thought it was like the most ridiculous, stupid thing, but whatever. I mean, it tasted fine. It tasted just like deviled eggs, except it was just all mashed up or whatever. And maybe my brother and sister-in-law were in a good mood, or maybe they actually felt this way. But I told them that because like my brother loves the deviled eggs, and so when I was looking at that clumped up mess, just like this big, you know, glob of like, you know, yellow stuff, it tasted perfectly fine, but it's just like this big mess. And so I said, oh, the shell stuck to the eggs, and so I just kind of you know, made it into deviled egg salad or whatever. And they were like, oh, that's a really good idea, because you know, then we won't have to waste the eggs and stuff, and if it tastes good, it doesn't really matter. It's like, that's a really good idea. They were like in a really good mood, I think. They were just being polite, looking at a big, you know, I'm just like exaggerating, but it was like this, you know, pile of deviled egg salad. But they did love it, and they ate some of it, and bag fell. The gnome on that bag, and they're saying, okay, like, hurry up with your stupid story. Nobody cares about like what you ate for Thanksgiving. Just, you know, show this. You know, get back to yarn. You know, scatterbrain mess, whatever. That's what's in that bag. It's a bag I got at Hobby Lobby with a gnome on it. It has yarn balls, whatever. I'll get to it once I finish my long-winded story that you probably skipped through anyway. But I make other things too, and I make sweet potatoes. You know, the canned sweet potatoes with I candy them with the brown sugar, and I make this like cranberry salad thing that my mom told me how to do, and I've been making it for years since she told me how to do it. It has like marshmallows in it, and you know, I'm thinking about the last video I filmed was talking about the Bernat blanket yarn and that cozy occasion, how it feels like marshmallow. But whatever. God. See, now I'm making references to my own videos. It's just ridiculous. But it has like cranberry sauce and pineapple, and it's like this thing you mix up together. So it's really good. And then I make mashed potatoes, and then I take the broth, you know, from the chicken. I cook it with like cream of mushroom soup, and I kind of cook it like I cook a roast, and with cream of mushroom soup, and then like the beef stock or chicken stock or like whatever, and the broth that, you know, is left after I make the chicken, I pour most of it out and turn it into the gravy to put over the mashed potatoes and everything. And but that's the gist. I make other things, but I don't need to tell you like the entire freaking menu, but whatever. And I do get a ham. I cook it the day before, and then we eat it cold the next day. Cause my mom and I eat the ham the day before for dinner, and then what's left over, we get those like huge hams. Were ridiculously expensive. God, I could get like, you know, 40 skeins of clearance yarn for the price of that one freaking where so everything in my head is like you know, how many skeins of yarn it equals. But those hams are like huge. I mean, it's worth it, but still, it's those the ham I think was probably more than I'm exaggerating just a little, but the ham was probably more than like the entire rest of the meal. They're like, I think it was like $40 for that freaking ham. But it's so good, and like everybody looks forward to the ham and everything, and it's not just the ham that we get for that one meal, and then we get for the Thanksgiving meal, and there's always some left over. And I send my brother home with some, and then we have some to, you know, make like add to potato soups, or just like or snack on the day after, or like whatever. We always have a lot of ham, but also it has a bone in it. And what I like to do, because I don't like to cook things twice unless I'm like reheating it, but there's a big bone in that ham, and I thought one year I thought instead of getting a ham hock for the green beans, like the big pot of green beans I make, I thought I can cut the bone out of that ham, and so that I can use the bone in the green beans and kind of like double dip, and then I won't have to get a ham hock, and that'll save me a little bit of money, and I can, you know, make this ham stretch as much as possible. And so I did that, and I used the ham bone in the green beans and stuff, and but we had, you know, all kinds of ham, and but just like a really good meal. And my niece, you know how kids are really picky about food and stuff, but she actually ate a lot of the food. She didn't eat everything that I made, but she ate more than I thought she would, and so it was really good. And everybody just, you know, pigged out on it. I do love to cook. I mean, it's frustrating sometimes. Like I have this urge to do cooking videos and stuff, but I never did it yet. And if I do, they're going to go on my website. I'm not going to, you know, turn this into the crocheting and cooking channel with you, unless I do, like, you know, make this channel about every single one of my interests or whatever. But I do have, because I grew up watching cooking shows, and, you know, all kinds of like the Food Network, when they used to have like actual cooking shows, not shows about cooking that where like those competition shows and stuff. You know, the ones where it's just like a chef in a kitchen teaching you how to cook something. Not like these competition shows and stuff nowadays. I grew up watching those cooking shows. I used to love watching them all the time. I even have a bunch of them on DVD. I do have a ridiculous amount of DVDs, and the fact that I even have like cooking show, like Food Network cooking shows on DVD, it's ridiculous, but I do. Because I used to love cooking shows, and so I do love to cook, and I've kind of taken over my mom's kitchen or whatever. But because I cook so much and cook all the time, and I've kind of like taken over the kitchen or whatever, and grew up watching cooking shows, I always wanted to do cooking videos too. But I made the meal, and we all enjoyed sitting around eating it. And my brother turned on The Goonies, and then after that was on. I do love The Goonies. It's cool that he remembers The Goonies, because I remember it when I was growing up, and then but he was a little young for the Goonies. That was like from when I was growing up. But he loves The Goonies too, and so he was watching that. And then we were watching. He turned on Talladega Nights. I'd never seen that before. It was pretty funny. But we just sat around watching. But what's funny is we were watching the movies and stuff, and then like my mom and I were just kind of like looking at them, and they were just like practically dozing off. Like my niece and brother and sister-in-law. Like I didn't even make turkey, I made chicken, but they were just so relaxed or whatever. They were like in there practically falling asleep. Like I heard my it was either my sister-in-law's or my niece's phone like hit the floor, and like that's how they were just like, you know, passing out there. They were so relaxed, and it was like a really fun, relaxing Thanksgiving. My mom told me later that my brother leaned into my mom and said the house is just so cozy, and obviously, I mean, it really is cozy, but it obviously is if they're just like in there practically falling asleep. And I mean, I know we had like a big meal and stuff, but it wasn't even like, I know like the stereotype is when you eat turkey it makes you tired, but I don't know if it's the same with chicken or not, but it was just like this really fun, relaxing day with them. And I do love it. It's exhausted. I'm exhausted after I make the big meal or whatever. But it's worth it because we have we have so many leftovers and stuff, which is good, and we just have like a fun time, like this, you know, big family get together or whatever. And so it's fun in that aspect, you know, finally being able to relax and sit down and eat with them, and, you know, talk and stuff, because like most of the time I'm in the kitchen, you know, like puttering around or, you know, cutting up potatoes or doing that. And but so it's a lot of work for me, but like, it's worth it in the end because of like what the fun evening that we have, or the fun afternoon that we have with the family. But whatever. And so but before they came, I wanted to make sure that the house was like, you know, nice and clean, and I put like some of the all the Christmas gifts and stuff upstairs because I didn't want them to see any of them, because I haven't wrapped them yet. And I put some of the hauls that I gotten recently upstairs too, because I wanted the yarn room to look like everything was put away. There was like this pile, like a bag here and a bag here and a bag upstairs, if they would have gone upstairs, but the yarn room looked like, you know, perfectly put away and stuff. And again, like my brother and sister, like my sister-in-law especially, like she was just like, she stares at this room like I mean, she really appreciates the room, and like I know I love it that way too, but like I can also recognize that it's utterly ridiculous, and I'm shocked how many times they walk through here and don't look at it like, oh my God. But I mean, that's how much like I'm glad that they appreciate it for how nice it is, and how you know, cozy the whole house is anyway, but like this room especially, and it is just like you there's so many things like visual stimulation to look in here, like all the different yarns and stuff, and but whatever. And so I did get the house clean before they came over here. Oh, and then my dining room is in there, and it's not like a dining room like we sit down at a dining room table. It's just like a spare room practically, like a catch-all kind of room. And my niece went in there, and I had put some stuff away. So there's all this like open space in there, and what was cool is like my niece leaned into me and she said, "Oh, there's like lots of room now where we can sit at the backdrop and take our Christmas picture." Like she got like that's the first thing that she said when she walked in that room. Not like, oh, like everything's like put away, or oh, where's this, or oh, this is over here now, or like what. That's the first thing she thought of, was like with all the open space there. She thought, oh, that I could set up. Like I said, every year my niece and I take a Christmas picture of her to give as a gift to my brother and sister-in-law and my mom. And it's also fun for her because it gives her this experience of like helping me set up a backdrop, and her choosing a dress to wear, and like, you know, holding like what I have these like, I have so many like ridiculous like Christmas props or whatever, like these, you know, big Christmas balls, or one year I took like a whole series of pictures with like all the different things that I found in the stores, and I find a lot of that stuff at Goodwill. Like sometimes they have those like big comforter bags full of like just a bunch of random Christmas stuff. And I have a lot of like Christmas things and like garlands, and I've taken so many like Christmas pictures of her. And there was one year where I dressed her up like a Christmas tree, and I got this green dress, and I sewed sewed. Who cares? I used sewing to attach lights to it, and then I had put like, you know, gifts all around her, and she had like a star on top of her head, and And so she was like the Christmas tree, and she was all decorated, and had like ornaments hanging off the string lights, and I just kind of go all out and give her this experience. That's like, one aspect of the gift, to like give her this experience, so that like she can appreciate like physical pictures, and like looking at them and thinking about like the memories that she had taking them, and because I wanted to appreciate like physical pictures and memories and stuff, and then like the gift of it, of like having the pictures, and then having a gift that not only I can give to my brother, sister-in-law, and my mom, but also having these like really fun pictures that she can have for the rest of her life to look back on, and have this fun experience of like feeling like she had this experience and she got to take the pictures, but she also has a ownership of the pictures too, and so it's like it's not just a gift from me to them, it's a gift from her to them. And so because like she can give them like little things, or but a little kid, she's not going to go out and buy them like an expensive gift or whatever, and she can like make them something or whatever, but like it's like I'm also giving her the ability to feel like she has something to give them as a gift. And so she just loves taking the pictures and stuff, and we have some really good pictures, and I would show some of them, but I don't like to show her face in these videos and stuff. But one of the aspects of what my channel was supposed to be, when it's supposed to be like every single one of my interests, was I was gonna take the pictures that I've taken of her and like block her face. What the funny thing I was gonna do, and I've already said this in a video probably, was I was gonna take some of her like self portraits where she like drew herself, and like take the face off of those and like put them over her face just to hide her face, and then use the pictures I've taken of her to like give tips on like how to set up backdrops, and where to find the accessories that I found, and how I did this and how we did that and all that, and almost like a tutorial sort of way, or a way of like trying to give you inspiration, like if you want to give your family an experience, if you don't have the money to go to like a professional photographer, and give your family like an experience of like just setting up a backdrop and having a really nice family Christmas picture or something. But that was going to be something on my channel, but it may be in the future, I don't know, or it may just be on my website, whatever. But anyway, that's like the whole like Thanksgiving thing and whatever, and we had a really fun time, and had a really good meal and stuff, and just had a fun time, them over here for Thanksgiving. But I'm now going to some other things. So I went to Hobby Lobby, and this was after Thanksgiving, and because I wanted to check to see if they had any yarn in there after Thanksgiving, because I knew that the holiday kind of threw their shipment day off, and I wasn't sure if the yarn that was in there the day before Thanksgiving that I didn't expect to be in there, that my last haul for like 12 skeins or whatever it was, I didn't know if that was supposed to be like the shipment yarn, and they did that early because of the whole Thanksgiving holiday, or if it was just like some random, because sometimes I've gone in there and it's just like completely random, and there's like some skeins, and then they still have the shipment day. I didn't know, and so I wanted to go in after Thanksgiving, and then so I went in there and they didn't have any yarn, and so I'm assuming that that yarn is I'm like getting in my head. I'm sorry about the stuttering. God, it's just whatever. I shouldn't even address it. It's frustrating. So I'm assuming that the yarn that they clearanced on the day before Thanksgiving was the yarn that was going to be on the shipment day or whatever. So they didn't have any yarn on the day I went in there after Thanksgiving. But I did get a couple random things in there. They had another piece of vinyl in the remnants, and I need to make those like blank journal things that are kind of inspired by the spell books and my favorite movies and stuff. I have enough of this vinyl now where I can do that. But I grew up watching, like Charmed and Hocus Pocus, and my best friend from high school watched all those too. We were obsessed with Charmed and like the Book of Shadows. We always wanted to make like a blank journal that was almost reminiscent of like the Book of Shadows, or the one from Hocus Pocus, or all these really cool looking spell books from all the TV shows and movies and stuff that we watched, and but especially the Book of Shadows, because we loved Charmed. And so I keep getting this vinyl, thinking that this might make a good cover of a book. Because I'm not going to buy an actual leather, because it's going to be expensive unless it's in the remnants. I don't know, but this vinyl is like probably the closest, cheapest thing that I'm going to find to like leather that would make a book look like it's leather bound. And so I'm getting this stuff. This is 54. No, let's see. I'm doing this spec. 54 inches by 20 inches, and this was $3.88 for this. I've used this same exact vinyl for, or I said it in another video, but I have this like little telephone stand in my kitchen. And the seat of it was all messed up. It's one of those like old-fashioned telephone stands that I didn't grow up that way, but my mom grew up like knowing what that was. Like it has it's like a little seat, and it had like a little chair, and then it has this little stand like attached to it, and it was like a little cubby, and she said that's a telephone stand. That's where you would like actually sit down, because they didn't have like cordless phones or anything. And so like the joke that Ellen DeGeneres has in one of her specials is that when you were on the phone, you were on the phone, because like we didn't have like cell phones or especially back then they didn't have like even cordless phones or phones with like a cord that was like one of those spiral ones that would like make where you can go around the entire house. So like when you were on the phone, you had to sit there, and so it's like an old-fashioned telephone stand, but the seat was all messed up. It's like it looked like that plastic. It was all cracked and everything. And so one day I gotten some of this and I redid the seat. I felt like I was on Trading Spaces or while you were out, like redoing because that's exactly how I knew how to do it, because of like watching them like do slip covers and stuff on that show when I was watching when I was growing up. And so I felt really big and really cool, even though I was a loser. Now thinking about Trading Spaces, but I felt like really cool to like recover that seat and like I was on Trading Spaces. Like most people would be like, I felt really big. I redid that. And I'm like thinking about I felt like I was on Trading Spaces. I kept like looking around the corner waiting for Paige Davis to jump in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it went through my head. I felt like I was on Trading Spaces. But so I got some more to make a book, whatever. Oh God, my brain is just all over the place. But I did get that in Hobby Lobby, and then I was looking in the crochet stuff and all that, and I was looking at all the. I'm probably gonna buy that entire aisle of stuff. I'm buying it sort of in piecemeal, but I bought this thing. It's yarn from Yarnology, magnetic bookmarks, and I have a whole drawer full of bookmarks I need to finish, and but I bought these because this one bookmark right here, it has like balls of yarn on top of each other. It's one of those magnetic bookmarks where it sort of pulls apart. I didn't grow up with these. These are like something new, I think, or I mean new like, for old people like me. No, because the first time I saw one of these magnetic bookmarks was my niece came over with one, and I was like fascinated. I thought that's a really good idea. It's just like this little thing. It opens up and then it snaps, because it's magnetic. And this one has like balls of yarn on top of each other. That's the only reason I got it, was because of that. And, I mean, there are some gnomes, and we do love gnomes and stuff, but those are kind of cute too. But like I mainly got them for the balls of yarn. This is $1.99, and there's like some pretty flowers and stuff. So these are really cool magnetic bookmarks. I'll probably give that one with the flowers to my mom, and then we'll have like the ones with the gnomes, and I don't know. But I just wanted the one with the balls of yarn. I'm a sucker for like if something has yarn on it, I'll probably get it. So you hear that, Hobby Lobby? Put some yarn on stuff or whatever. I'll probably end up buying the whole damn aisle. And so then they had this canvas bag, and I've seen this canvas bag, but I didn't want to commit to buying it because I'm so cheap. But it's adorable. It was $9.99. Because I was thinking, how many skeins of yarn is that? No, but whatever. So I got this canvas bag because it has a gnome on it. They do have a lot of cute bags and things like that with gnomes or other things that but they always have knitting needles, and I mean it has yarn on it, but they always have, it looks like they're knitting, and they hardly ever have like something like a hedgehog crocheting, or they never have like it's always like knitting needles and stuff, which is fine if you're into knitting, but like I want to see more crochet stuff. But this is just a gnome with like generic yarn balls and stuff, and so I thought I'll get this, and it was $10. But I'll probably put like yarn or one of my whips or something in it. But it's adorable. It has like a gnome on it, and see the little balls of yarn, and it's kind of like 3D in a way, and it's just like a really cool little canvas bag. I've seen this many times, but I'm probably going to end up buying every little like yarn related thing in that entire aisle eventually. And once I get like all the every single one of their colorways, once they clearance them all. It seems like I'm getting like every single one of their colorways, because it's crazy how many different ones I get every single haul. But it's a wonder. They ought to like give me an honorary Hobby Lobby sign to hang up in my ridiculous room, because it's practically a Hobby Lobby store in this freaking house. But anyway, so I got that, and then I went over to Goodwill, and they had this thing. I feel like this is it'll go with my yard sale stuff. Maybe somebody will buy it, but it's one of those like tapestry things, and I do love these like really big tapestry things, because like especially because I think of like my niece and like the whole giving her the photo shoot experience and stuff, and I do have a lot of like fabrics that I only got to use as a backdrop, or like pictures like this that are only for like backdrops. They're not for like, oh, I'm gonna set up a nice party backdrop. No, it's literally just to give my niece a photo shoot experience. To like, oh, this I got a backdrop once at that bin store or whatever that has flowers on it, and like I'm gonna use it to take like a spring picture for her. There are years where I take the like an Easter picture and we give that as a gift to everybody. And I created like this in my computer. I created this template that I always put the pictures in, because I always take a whole series of pictures around Easter. And I created this template in my computer, and like the background is glitter, and I always color the glitter digitally to match her her dress or the backdrop or whatever, so that it kind of matches. And there's all these little cutouts, and in the shape of eggs, because of Easter, and there's like some big ones, and there's like some smaller ones, and they're kind of like oriented differently or whatever. And but I have like this template, and I always get it printed. It's usually like a really big print. It's one of those that costs like around $10 just to get printed, that size. And then I put it in a frame for my brother and sister-in-law, and then I get one printed for us. But I always like make an experience for her for Easter too. And then there's been a couple years where we take a whole series of pictures to kind of represent all of the months, and I've made some calendars. There's 2 I've made of her where we take like I'll find a dress at Goodwill or wherever, and it'll be like a Halloween kind of dress, and there's a picture of her kind of going like this, and it's like this big like witch looking dress or whatever, and I took that picture, and that was like the October picture, like I just give her this whole like photo shoot experience. So I'm always on the lookout for like backdrops or pieces of fabric that are big enough where it could be a backdrop or that kind of stuff. And so I saw this, and it looked like it was books, and I thought, I don't know, what I was thinking of was if this was a really good backdrop with books. It looks like shelves with books on it. I was thinking of like the month where back to school is. Although I think she goes back into school, because like when I was growing up, it was always after Labor Day, like in September. But I think they go back to school in August now. Of course, it depends on where you live. There's some kids that go like all year round. But I think they go in August around here. But we used to go in September. But like maybe for like the back to school month or whatever, that might be a fun thing. I was thinking like something sort of back to school related in one of the pictures if I do another calendar sometime. But then when I opened this up when I got home, because like it was all folded up in this plastic bag. This was $2.99, and so, which is good for this, but it's just gonna go with my yard sale stuff. But it feels like it was at that bin store. But it ended up in Goodwill, probably because somebody got it home, opened it, and thought, oh, I thought it was something else, and then they just gave it to Goodwill, which is probably what I should do. But I'll put it with the yard sale stuff. But I thought, like, with it being shelves of books, I thought maybe that would be kind of cool to like a back to school theme for a picture. But all the spines of the books, cause I couldn't open this in the store. All the spines, I was thinking, it would probably be like all the spines of like all the public domain books, or all the famous books, like Moby Dick, Treasure Island, or like I thought it would be something like that. But all the books are like it just like generic stuff where it says like Atlas and differential equations and anatomy, classic poetry. It looks like something that would fit in like a classroom. I mean, which is really cool. But see, it's kind of like, I can't really show it very well, but it has all the shelves, and has like the spines of books, sitting on the shelf. And but every single thing is something that having to do with science or some kind of class, and it's really cool. But it's just not what I was hoping it would be. So it's just something that's going to go with my yard sale stuff. But hopefully somebody will find, maybe a teacher around here. I'll have that mug that a teacher might buy. Maybe I'll put this with that mug, and some teacher will find this interesting to put in her classroom. But with it saying like differentials, it's probably gonna have to go in like a teenage classroom, like in high school or something, a classroom where they wouldn't even appreciate this for what it is. But I don't know, but I got that, and so that was a little bit of a waste. But I couldn't see what it was in the store, so I thought it was worth the risk, because there have been times where I've gotten things like that, and then I open it up and I think, oh my god, this is like really cool, I'm glad I bought it. I've been talking so much I have to plug up my freaking camera. Speaking of that, there's something about my camera I'll tell you about. But the only other thing they had was a Harry Potter puzzle, and it looks like Hedwig flying with the letter that they were sending Harry to, you know, inviting him to Hogwarts, and has like Hogwarts in the background, and it's really cool. This was only $2.99, and so, or that's a better picture without the sticker on it. But it's a really cool puzzle, and I didn't count the pieces and stuff, but it's really nice. But it would just be something to go with my Harry Potter stuff. I do have a lot of Harry Potter puzzles. I haven't worked them up yet, but I have plenty of puzzles if I ever want to. Hopefully they'll have all the pieces and stuff, but you know, this is only $2.99 at Goodwill. But what I was talking about with my camera, that would be the last thing I'll talk about, because I don't have anything else crochet related, or yarn, which is weird. I'll go into the next shipment day, maybe they'll have some. But I was looking on eBay, and I'm always on the lookout for a camera exactly like the one that I have. And I know, like, if I'm going to get another camera, what I should do is upgrade and have a better camera. But, you know, like I've said, I don't want to spend a whole lot of money on, like, like, who cares if I'm in HD or, like, all this stuff. It would be nice to have a better camera, better quality camera when I'm showing, like, yarn, so that you can see the color. And like, where there have been skeins where I'll show it, and it just doesn't look the same way in person as it does on camera. But for the most part, like, who gives a crap if I'm in HD? It doesn't really matter. But I'm always on the lookout for the same kind of camera that I have, because I thought, like, for one thing, I could probably get a good deal on it because it's like an older camera, but also because I want to, like, when I start editing videos and stuff, I want to be able to, I want to know that, like, the videos are gonna be able to be used in the same editor that I use, and I'll be familiar with the file type, and it's not going to be like, oh, I got to know the camera, but the file size is, like, you know, 10 times bigger, and I have to, you know, figure out how to, you know, store all those, and, like, it's going to make editing harder, or, like, it's going to be a different file type, and to use the editor that I'm comfortable with, I have to, you know, transfer it over, or convert it into another kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always on the lookout for the same kind of camera, because, like, I've gotten lucky with this camera in the past, like before I started doing YouTube videos, and I found one on eBay. It was like $20 or whatever, and it was brand new. I mean, it still had the sticker. They had to peel off the screen and all that kind of stuff, and so it was brand new. And so I know that I should probably get a better quality camera, but, like, it's just me, so it doesn't really matter. But I am sort of on the lookout, and I have, like, a little eBay notification thing for the from, you know, years ago, before I was doing YouTube videos, of, like, the same kind of camera, you know, just in case something happened to our home movie camera. That's the main reason I wanted to you know, upgrade the camera, or keep the camera updated, is, you know, for our home movies and stuff. And so I got a little notification that, you know, somebody posted a camera like this. And it looked brand new. I mean, it was one of those listings that, like, has the generic stuff about, like, oh, this is as is, or it might not have been tested, or, like, all that. But, like, I know the look of a brand new camera, and I know, like, I mean, it had the box, it has the accessories, it has all that stuff with it, and, like, the little pamphlet, like, all that stuff would not be with a really old camera that, you know, somebody's been using and using and using for years, and then they, like, you know, get rid of it. They wouldn't have all that stuff. And even the charger cord still had the twist tie on it, and it looked like it was brand new, but it was like an open box kind of thing. But I wanted to get that camera, and so because I was thinking about the whole YouTube thing. Yes, I could get a better quality camera, but this is the kind of camera that I'm comfortable using or whatever. And so if I'm going to get another camera without spending an arm and a leg, I thought I'll, you know, maybe I'll get another one of these cameras. And when I clicked through, the camera was on eBay for $40 plus shipping, and so I thought, like, that's kind of a good deal, but, you know, still it was, like, a little too expensive for me, because I'm so cheap. I mean, it's a good deal for practically a brand new camera. But I went ahead and I added it to my shopping cart, you know, just so you say, okay, I'll keep watching it or whatever. And then because I've added it to my shopping cart, a couple of days later, the seller offered me, like, they just wanted to get rid of it, I guess, because it is like an old-fashioned camera. It's a Samsung, what, HF, whatever, one of those Samsung cameras, like an actual, like, camcorder. Like, most people are probably filming YouTube videos on their, you know, iPhones and, like, all that kind of stuff. I'm using, like, a freaking Samsung camcorder, you know, like, from the early 2000s, whatever. I mean, it's a perfectly good camera. But so I added it to my shopping cart, but I didn't really have any intention of buying it, you know, right then. I just kind of wanted to, you know, keep an eye on it and see, you know, if the price dropped or, like, what. And so I guess because I had it in my shopping cart, eBay let the seller know that, like, somebody was interested in the listing, and so they gave me an offer, and they offered me 50% off. and to the perfect person too. God, if it was 75% off, I would have done it right. No, it was crazy that, like, you know, I got like a deal. I mean, it would have been a deal anyway to get it for $40, but like a brand new camera practically. But that seller sent that 50% off number to the perfect person because I was like, oh, deal. And so so it was $20 plus shipping. So total it was $35 in change or whatever, like around $35 for a brand new freaking camera. That I know it's not like one of there are some cheaper ones on Amazon that have you can add a lot of accessories to, and they say 4K and all this, but they're like the cheap knockoffs. This is like a Samsung camera, and I've only ever had 2 of these for years and years and years. It's a really I know that the Samsung camera is going to hold up for, you know, years at this point, and like especially, you know, filming all of my home movies with these and all the videos that I filmed for YouTube, and it still held up all this time. But the thing with this camera is the SD card, the spring in the SD card slot doesn't spring back anymore, and so the SD card in here is like the same one that is sort of stuck in there, but you can still use it. And so what I do is I plug the cord in and get the files off that way, because I can't take the SD card out. I can like pry it out, but I don't want to have to keep doing that. And so as long as the card is in there and it's working, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to leave it in there, and then I'll just like copy the files over with the cord, and then I'll like clear the card every time I want to film some more videos, like, you know, format the card that's in the camera. And so that's what I've been doing. But like even the cord slot is like, if you jiggle it the wrong way, it's not going to hold charge. And so it's getting a little old. But I mean, there's some, it's perfectly fine. It's still working or whatever. But still, it feels like it's, you know, getting on its last leg. And so I want to get another camera. So I did order it, and it hasn't come yet. But I was also thinking, now that I have 2 cameras, what I can do is, like the idea I have, it probably won't get any views, but like whatever. The idea that I had, maybe just like a fun project for myself, is I want to try to film. Now that I'll have 2 cameras, I can film a video about filming a video. Because like that thumbnail video, I do want to do a thumbnail video in the future that where I can have the arm of the camera, or that, you know, that arm thing I have with the camera on it hanging off a shelf, so you can actually see better, like, you know, me setting up the thumbnails and stuff. I do want to take a better video of the thumbnails, like a thumbnail video. With that, but I was also thinking I can take or do a video where I can show the entire process of filming a video, if you find that interesting at all. It may just be like the thumbnail video didn't get a lot of views and stuff for obvious reasons, but I was thinking, just for myself, it might be kind of fun to like do a video where I'd go through the entire process of like filming a video, like, you know, actually sitting here and you can see me like filming myself or whatever, and then like through the editing process and also the thumbnail and getting all the stuff together. It just sort of like in some kind of documentary style, document the whole process of like filming a video for YouTube, because it's a long involved process. It's not just like, oh, I'm sitting here just, you know, talking about this and, oh, this star and you know, Harry Potter puzzle, and, you know, thanks for watching, you know, like and subscribe. It's not that simple. And so but there is a lot of work that goes into it, and but there's a lot of like ridiculousness that goes into it too, and a lot of fun that goes along with it. And but I just thought that might be a fun video for in the future. And so now that I have 2 cameras, I can probably do that. I can just have like the way I'm going to do the thumbnail video in the future, and have like the camera on that little arm thing hanging over there, and then I can just film myself filming a video. I'll have like tons of footage to have to edit or whatever, but I'll film that whole process too, of me like having to edit the videos and stuff, and how long it takes, and I don't know, it may be an interesting video, an interesting video for me, just because I love TV and movies and stuff, and I love like all the behind the scenes sort of stuff. And I know this is like I'm not comparing myself to some big, you know, movie production or TV show production, but like it would be fun for me, and like sort of satisfy that interest in me of like my love of like TV and movie production and stuff, to make a video like that, whether it gets seen or not. It doesn't really matter, but I may do that in the future. But I did get another camera, so it's not going to affect the quality of the videos. It's still going to be my, you know, ridiculous ass and all that. It's going to be sort of a low quality camera, but I did get another one, so you're stuck with me for however long that camera lasts, for years probably, because this one has lasted for years and years and years too. But anyway, I guess that's enough for this video. It's all over the place video, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.